Here we go.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Pop Culture Corner Nightly Update, Friday night update. My name is Austin, and I'll be starting the show off as we wait for more people to join us a little later on. Quick shout out, what's up, everybody in the chat? I know Nick, Adam, you guys been waiting for a second. We love you guys. Thank you so much. What's up, Caden? Always good to see Caden here as our producer. Caden's gone, ladies and gentlemen, and he's back, and he's here, and he's gone, and he's back. What's up, man? How you doing, buddy?
Disappearing act, you know.
Exactly. I like how you stole my name.
I know. I'm not Austin, guys.
Exactly, and I'm Ty Roberts, and welcome to the Pop Culture Corner Nightly. Again, guys, don't forget, we're just starting the show. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Obviously, new season of Titans started. There's apparently a new episode of Power Girl, Supergirl, Stargirl, whatever Ty likes it, and he's going to talk about it. And then lots of other stuff too. The Ayer Cut, big trending event today, obviously went on that we'll have to bring up. So yeah, man. But don't forget to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends, tell all your enemies, share a tweet, quote a tweet. Tell your Facebook friends, all right? Look, even if I know all of you, all your parents, your cousins, your uncles, they're all on Facebook. Well, tell them to get on Facebook, check out the show, head to YouTube, like our page, all that fun stuff. We really, really appreciate it, guys. And don't forget, we also have memberships, and Super Chats are now open. So there's a 3-tier membership. First one being the Flossing with Austin. That would be me. It's what I call the bang for your buck. It's great. It's easy. It's cheap. And you still get some great benefits. And then the highest tier being the Ty, which obviously gets you all the benefits, pictures of Ty, whatever you want, however you want, pictures of me.
You get his feet, you get his dog,
his dog, all the fun stuff. But yeah, guys, with that, what's up, Kaden, man? How's your Friday going? It's we're heading into the weekend. Do you have any fun plans? Fun. Anything interesting going on?
It was fun. Today was fun waking up to something leaking from a certain show. Seeing that. And,
yes, I did see that. Can we talk about that or no?
We can't show it, but we can talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah. We can't show it, but we can talk about it.
That's fine.
Because
fine.
People
guys,
were getting...
if you want to see it, just DM me on Twitter and I'll send you the picture.
But yeah, and then there's a concept art of that as well that leaked, which this Russian hacker guy is just leaking all this stuff apparently.
He's on fire. I love him. I'd really love to get into
or whoever this guy or person.
Like Ty always says, I want to get him on the show. I want to interview him. I want to get him on the show.
Come on the show and just show us all of the pictures that you have already.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Just share. Yeah, that Google Drive. You just share that with me.
Just share it. We also have an exclusive coming soon about a certain HBO Max DC show. I think everyone will enjoy that.
I heard about this.
We also
because I happen to be in the group chat that you mentioned this to, and so I'm also I'm on the inside on this.
Yeah. And we also have the Batamn89 comic that may or may not be tied to the Flash movie. Who knows?
What?
We'll probably know. Huh?
Say what?
I said it may or may not be tied to the Flash movie.
Whoa, I didn't realize that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because it's Batman.
Have you read the comic?
No, I haven't read the comic yet.
Oh.
But, I know there's some, additions that Tim Burton wanted to do for Returns and his trilogy.
Right.
And it sets up pretty much where we are like headed into for Keaton's Batman. Then we have Stargirl, that and Titans that premiered this week. Me and Ty were fortunate to see the first couple episodes of Titans previously last week.
Right. Thanks
and
for
then,
sharing.
yeah, rub in your faces.
I'm kidding.
It's like, let me rub it into their faces right now.
No, I mean,
Stargirl.
that one was kind of fun. I let you guys, I haven't seen seasons 1 and 2 of Titans. Actually, I was talking to we have a mutual friend. I was talking to our friend AJ, and I was like, should I just watch it, or should you just tell me, like, just run through like a synopsis, like, real quick,
right?
Because I really don't know anymore.
Yeah, and I know it's a forbidden name to say, but I'm gonna say it. Jeff Johns has.
He did it, ladies and gentlemen. He's been removed. We have a sacred pact here. No.
But yeah, he's he described this season to have basically the two villains, Eclipso and Shade, remind him of Freddy Krueger and Pennywise the Clown. So that's pretty interesting, and hope to see what. And it did open up pretty creepy.
Gavin, you have me so confused ever since you changed your profile.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Sometimes when people change their profile picture.
And you know what? It doesn't feel like you anymore.
Right.
And I feel like I'm talking to an imposter. Will the real Gavin Cooley please stand up? No. What's up, man? Always good to see you, dude. Hope you're doing well this Friday
Gavin.
night. Dude, Gavin, if you wanna join the show, send me a message or I'll send you a link on Twitter.
Yeah.
Somewhere on here. Yeah, there you
are. But yeah, and Jensen Ackles or Eric Kerpel, one of the two, said something about Soldier Boy this season and said that, we should be looking forward to seeing how America is shaped, Soldier Boy, and how Soldier Boy has shaped American superheroes. So that's pretty cool. To talk more about that. And quick snippet, the Marvels and Secret Invasion have started filming this week.
Have started filming, dude. Isn't that crazy?
I know.
I feel like these guys are on top of it.
Yeah. Then we have more to talk about the Power Rangers scrapped game. Then Ayer.
Yeah, I didn't hear too much about that, but I know Ty wanted to talk about
Ty has some stuff to say about that. And Ayer, I'm very confused on how this stuff leaked, but apparently Ayer sent some script screenshots to the Ayer account.
It's just like how did the Deadpool thing, like he did it on purpose. It was like, I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Probably if I were him, I would do the same thing.
He sent them some script screenshots of his cut, and so we're gonna talk about that. Then Titans season 3, 3 episodes came out. Talk about that.
Well, okay, so 3 episodes are already out of season 3.
Yes.
Very cool.
So yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah, it seemed it was a busy day. Busy day in the world of Twitter and news and things like that. Obviously yesterday too. Hey, Suri! What's up, Suri? Up? Always good to see Suri in the chat. We love Suri. Yeah, I mean, it was a busy day, obviously. Yesterday, Britney Spears is technically freed.
Yeah.
So her father has, her dad has officially stepped down from the conservatorship, and will no longer, thankfully, be doing that.
Yes.
Quick shout out to any of our sports fans out there who may enjoy any of that. Yesterday was the Field of Dreams game, which is based off the movie Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. I personally love that movie. Like, it's one of my favorite. It's just like an inspiring. First of all, Kevin Costner is just cool. Like, if you don't think Kevin Costner is cool, it's like one of the coolest dudes and actors out there. All right, if you haven't seen Yellowstone, Dances with Wolves, the dude's a badass. Love Kevin Costner. Anyway, so that movie's about like him and baseball and like all the baseball greats who have like passed away come out and play in his dreams. And it's been a long time since I've seen it, like since I was a little kid, so I cannot summarize the movie accurately right now.
I don't know what this movie is, so
dude, it's so good.
I just heard that the opening was just like the opening of the game was just like the opening of the movie or something like that.
They did the opening. They did the opening of the game, and it was like the scene from the movie when he walks out and he's looking around, and then all of a sudden all the dead players come out and he shakes their hand. And he's like, it's this awe moment because he's shaking all of his heroes' hands, and he's just like, like in shock to meet all of them. And it was so cool. They did that. So I just wanted to throw that out there. That was really cool. Really enjoyed seeing that. It's because she keeps yammering on, and there's no stopping me, right? Not a baseball person, but I love Costner. I'll be honest. Hey! And he brought the Master Chief back. What's up, Gavin?
Dude, I had to. You were making me sad. I was all like, dang, my identity is being
I know, dude. I put you into a bit of an identity crisis, huh?
I was like, am I Master Chief? I don't know.
Dude, I know. I was like, I know you gotta change it up every once in a while.
How can I look at myself in the mirror and see Master Chief?
Right.
I love it, dude. I love it, dude. How have you been, man? What are you up to today?
Well, I worked like all this week, so I had to catch up on like a lot of stuff I missed. Like I watched the 3 episodes of Titans today.
That's terrifying.
That is
all right, ladies and gentlemen. Viva for Vendetta has joined the stream apparently, and we're all about to. Oh no, it's anonymous! Everyone, it's anonymous. Make him big, Kaden. Make him big. You're the only one that knows how. Do it. Make him big. Okay.
And he's not even saying anything because he's mute.
I'm here to interrupt the stream. How are you? I'm Doomcock's cousin.
Oh God.
And
this guy.
I am here to talk to you about Moon Knight.
What?
Wait.
The reveal.
Wait a second. You're telling me that Ty is Doomcock's cousin?
This is getting crazy.
You're telling me that Ty is Doomcock's cousin? Am I or was that just part of the skit just now?
That was no.
You're not you're not allowed to know.
Okay.
You're not allowed to know the truth. But I have been a member of Anonymous for several years.
Now Anonymous is gonna snipe you.
Yep.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yep.
I denounced.
You can't denounce Anonymous.
I denounced. Oh, I denounced that
my anonymity.
Yeah. What's going on, guys? I know Austin started the stream. I did have to go out. I did have to make it to the store by midnight. And
that's what it was.
You know what?
Yeah.
I think that.
Okay, so I forget that you're in a part of the country where things close.
Yes.
Right. That doesn't happen here.
Yeah. Nothing closes.
Yeah. But this is our late night stream, Pop Culture Corner Nightly. I am very happy. Oh, Gavin, what's up?
Dude, I brought Gavin.
Oh,
where did AJ go?
He's sleepy.
What, is Gavin not enough for you, Ty? You're enough for me, Gavin. Just so you know.
Yeah, you're enough for you're enough for me. I just want to know. Guys, before we get to the show, I do want to let you know that super chats do go a long way at helping the show get better. They allow me to continue being anonymous and buying new wardrobe. By the way, that wardrobe is an actual AMC table cover, and then the mask is plastic.
Lies.
Dude, we have so much to talk about today. It's not even funny. From Green Lantern, Stargirl, Green Lantern in Stargirl. We have Titans. We have Free Guy. We have, oh my God, the list goes on and on and on and on. And I know we're rivaling H parts tonight, but again, any super chats would be much appreciated. Guys, what are you feeling about Stargirl? Did you guys watch Stargirl?
Couldn't care less. Haven't watched it.
Dude, this.
Oh my God! It started off.
It looks like everything that I cannot stand in a superhero show. So
the opening in the series was something out of a horror movie.
Nah.
That kid was creepy. Oh my God.
Nah. I'm not. I'll be honest. And it's at the same. Stargirl is where my interest for Miss Marvel is, which is pretty low. I'm just not big into the whole like kids being superheroes.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
I'm past that. Like, no, and I know it's like it's just
Austin's against kids being superheroes, so.
I think she looks great. I really do. I think she looks great. New episodes every
Tuesday.
every Tuesday. My boy William is here.
Thought you would never arrive.
William, did you watch Stargirl?
I watched the newest ones.
Yeah.
No, I have not got around to that one.
All right. Well, it ends with a bang. No spoilers here. We will be doing a spoiler review. I did get to watch Free Guy. Has anyone else seen Free Guy?
I've seen Free Guy.
What did you guys think?
Didn't get a chance to go. I sent people, but I didn't get a chance to go myself.
For the people who did see, no spoilers. What did you think?
I actually really liked it.
It was one of the best comic book movie. I mean, video game movies that's ever been made.
Wow,
it's so funny.
It's not based on a video game though, right?
No, it's just more.
It's kind of like Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's better than Mario Brothers.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
You're telling me it's better than the all-time Academy Award-winning best picture ever made, Mario Brothers?
Yeah. Also, if you guys could share the stream on social media so we can get your friends, family, and enemies in here so that we can all watch together. I also got a chance to read the Batamn89 comic, and my God, is it amazing. It's amazing. Amazing. Sorry. It's hands down one of the best comic books I've ever read. Simply due to the tie-ins and how it's gonna lead into the Flash and you know,
it's gonna lead into the Flash?
Huh?
It's gonna lead into the Flash? I didn't know that.
The way it sets up the Flash story, yes.
Really?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to check this out.
Yeah. Definitely a must see for fans of that. But guys, what do you guys want to talk about?
I thought you had a topic.
Right. I thought this was
crazy.
what happened.
We have.
Go ahead.
What's the biggest news of the day? Anything?
The haircut
Moon Knight.
trend. That's the biggest news of the day.
All right, so let's start off there. So Caden, if you want to bring up the Moon Knight stuff, I'm not the Moon Knight stuff. The David Ayer stuff. So let's wait. Go back. Let's not flip through everything.
Was that scene in the movie? Because I can't remember. It's literally.
Nah, it was cut.
Got it.
It was cut. So let's flip it back to the script, and let's read the script. So, whack. Boomerang hacks his way out of the mess of tendrils. Rory, Diablo's. Wait, what? Wary, Diablo's unsure he isn't under control. Diablo, say something.
Can I play Boomerang?
Boomerang, yeah, good.
You out of control, Patrol Princess. Give him a hand.
Flag empties his pistol into an approaching tendril. He's out of ammo. Then Deadshot shoots his last round. Yo, toss me a mag. I'm out of ammo. Harley loads her last 6 bullets, presses her pistol against the final tendril connected to Croc. Blam, 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 blam. Severing it. Croc returns to normal. Releases Katana. Now the squad forms a defensive circle. Exhausted. Almost beaten. Chest, what is it? Chest heaving. More tendrils gather to attack. Deadshot nods at the engine. We gotta destroy that satanic shit she's plugged into. God, I'm reading it scripts.
Love it.
So, guys, what do you think? I mean, do you think this would have been a better ending? There's more to it, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, there's more to it. It's just, this is what has been released.
The scene where Batman puts his arm on Deadshot's chest, and it's kind of like goes back into a flashback. I think Deadshot's backstory. You know when Deadshot has the flashback of his child and yada yada yada. I think that is spread out between multiple sequences to kind of like move the story forward, but also to emotionally connect you to Deadshot. What are you guys thinking about that?
It's hard to say because it's the way it was. You're finding out about it is so chopped up and disjointed. We're like reading tea leaves and hieroglyphics, so it's really hard. I would have had to see it within the flow of the movie, but finding things that was different with the Snyder Cut is because you knew the basic framework of the movie the entire time, and you were just waiting for pieces to be filled in. With this, it's just you can't really tell because the movie was released with such a drastic video production from what he actually meant you to see. So, I think the biggest significant difference in that movie is going to be Jared Leto. The only reason I see that movie ever getting greenlit is if new management takes over and decides to proceed with Justice Leagues 2 and 3, and then that Joker becomes more relevant and more marketable for them at that point. Otherwise, I know it reached 300,000, but I don't see any business reasons that you'll see the Ayer cut any year soon. I just don't see any. Okay. It doesn't make any sense to them right now.
You don't think that there's a demand for the Ayer cut right now?
Not enough for the current regime to go back and represent a movie that made money for them.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm kind of I'm kind of with you on this because I think releasing the Ayer cut would be a step backward, and what they're trying to do is move forward. We got the Batman. The Flash. We got the Batman. We got all these other films, Black Adam, yada yada, that are set to move the story forward. and why, logistically, it doesn't make sense to give more hope to the Snyder community by releasing the Ayer cut.
Well, here's the thing, though. I don't even think the hope thing is just right now, because let's take away the people who are making those moves, because I think they're on their way out anyway, and what they're doing is not as relevant as what the incoming regime would do, unless you were going to make another Harley Quinn movie or undo the last two that you made and insert him in there where he should have been in like Birds of Prey. There's really, where does he fit in? The only way I see him fitting in under either regime is if you say we're going to go ahead and go forward with Zack Snyder's original vision on HBO Max. And then obviously now you can market every appearance that you would have had from the previous Leto Joker because there would be interest in it. But broad, outside of us, outside of people, who do hashtag movements, I just don't see any business reason for them to do it. I mean, it doesn't make any current sense, especially while you have the spotlight on a current Suicide movie. It just doesn't make any business sense. Now, it may make passionate sense on an underground fan base movement, but as far as business sense, you have to explain it on the other side of why are you doing this? Where are you leading to?
Yeah, I agree. I think
Did you freeze?
Okay.
You back?
And William, you're one of the smartest people I know when it comes to like comic book. Did I freeze?
You froze a little bit. You're back now.
You froze. Yeah, you're back now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
You're one of the smartest people I know when it comes to like how you're one of the smartest people when I know when it comes to like releases and what fans want, because you directly work with them. Like you work in a place where you do releases, you see how people react. How are people reacting to movies like The Suicide Squad?
It's mixed. Some people really loved it, and some of them were on the other end of them. The biggest thing that it had going against it, other than the fact that there wasn't a lot of named characters for people to really either care about, and then the manner in which they're killed, he used a tagline, "Don't get attached." And for a lot of the people that I went and saw it with, that's part of the whole movie-going experience, is being attached to a character and being able to relate through yourself through that character. And so many of them, I mean, before the credits, literally there were people that were in the credits that were already dead before their credits came up on the screen. So it was really hard. And some of the violence, that this is not my words, was over the top, unnecessary, and gratuitous, and just there to be there. And then the other than that, I mean, like I said, the people who liked it really liked it. It was just a lot of fun. It was a lot of fast-paced fun. If you were in the James Gunn's movies already and you like this other stuff, this just took it to another level for you. So yeah, but it was on either scale. I mean, out of all the people that we took, it was on either scale. A lot of people was just like the violence and the pace of death was kind of numbing. And you just really didn't. You got to the point in the movie where you just didn't care about certain characters because you pretty much expected them to get smashed or decapitated. They were just basically there as cannon fodder. But and then, like I said, on the other end, there was people who loved it, thought it was great. It just was a fun ride, and I was one of the people. I thought it was fun. I thought it was fun. I would not like to see this formula applied to anything other than the Suicide Squad, though.
Right.
If you tried to do this to another movie,
Well, somebody said, like, I guess if Taika Waititi is like in talks for DC, I guess maybe like somebody said, like, all right, if he's gonna join, give him something like Plastic Man. I would be like, okay, yeah, all right, I could see him that, like, those.
Well, wouldn't it be Plastic Woman at this time?
Well, with Taika Waititi, remember, he's an Academy Award-winning screenwriter, and he can do serious stuff. And I think it's unfortunate that the Thor movies kind of paint a clownish version of what he can do, but Jojo Rabbit is what he actually does.
But it's still he has that satirical, you know. I mean, he said it himself. He wants you to think you're going in to see something like, you know, funny stuff and come out feeling a different way, but he's still got that satirical appeal to him. So I would think, you know, those outlandish characters for him also kind of like James Gunn would be good for him to do something with.
Yeah, but it was a mixed bag. But the problem with the Suicide Squad for me is that it was made. That's the biggest issue I have with the Suicide Squad, because it doesn't fit anywhere with what's going on with anything. It's something that is not only – when I left Suicide Squad, I had no anticipation for my next step in DC. Right. Nothing. My next DC movie is way down the line. They gave me a trailer for something that the movie made more compelling as far as that character goes, but I didn't ask for Peacekeeper. And I wasn't excited for, and I'm not that much more excited for Peacekeeper following this movie. I mean, I got more faith in that it'll be a lot better than a train wreck, but
yes,
I didn't. It was just like watching another action movie. But when I go to see comic book movies, I go to jump into a world. Yeah. And here I'm just on an island. I'm on a curb.
And in the Suicide Squad, very much, I've been saying it for a while. It stands on its own. But if you needed it, it could connect to a larger universe. I did not like the inclusion of the line, you know, put Superman in the ICU with a kryptonite bullet, when we know that has not happened. So does Suicide Squad kind of stand in a universe of its own?
No, well, it's in the Justice League universe. It's in that 2017 Justice League universe is what basically everything that cinematically that they put out goes into. So they'll refer to Cavill type characters and all that, but in the version that their bootleg version. So yeah, that's where that falls into place. But unfortunately, that's what I mean. It ties to a box office, a failure, and doesn't connect to anything upcoming that could be a success. Right. And itself wasn't really a success if you go by, depending on who you're talking to, it's a box office flop, even though there are certain circumstances that really don't make that a fair assessment.
Yeah, Gavin, how do you feel about the Suicide Squad and where it fits into the DCEU as a whole?
I liked it. I didn't love it. And honestly, I don't know how it fits in the DCEU, because the way the WWE is feeling is, I think they really like James Gunn, but the problem is, like, this movie didn't do good, and you could be like, it was the variant, it was this or this, but I don't know, like, Black Widow feel like made more money than it, but again, that is Marvel. And
well, the big,
so weird.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you could go ahead, William.
What's the huge difference between Black Widow and any other MCU movie is that it was tied to a narrative that kept you going. Suicide Squad and all these other movies, they aren't. And that's a problem with their approach, these one-off approaches. It doesn't work. And they can go back to, well, Joker made $1 billion. Okay, Joker, like I said before, Joker is a Batman character. He's probably arguably the most known Batman character besides Batman himself. So that wasn't a real risk.
It's very popular.
Then the other one was the other $1 billion success that they had was Aquaman, which was already tied to an established universe that they've already tried to erase, and that had a MILF magnet in Jason Momoa, somebody who was cast in that universe that they tried to erase. So your $2 billion, your $2 billion successes are things that really had nothing to do with not having a controlled narrative. And then your other stuff, your standalone stuff, start looking at the numbers. Shazam, great movie, but 300, 400 million. Birds of Prey, Suicide Squad. See where we're going here with the pattern is there. You've given, nobody who saw Shazam was like, wow, what's next? Nobody who saw Birds of Prey was, wow, what's next? Nobody saw Suicide was, wow, what's next? Oh, Peacekeeper. Okay, great. But and that's the one thing that hurts them, and that has nothing to do with copying Marvel. That just has to do with being comic book movies. Shared universes are what comic book movies do. DC created the shared universe, period, decades ago. That's why you had a Crisis of Infinite Earth with all these realities and the multiverse, which they shouldn't use, but should use elsewhere. So yeah, it's just a la carte menu is going to backfire because there's no anticipation. Right now, you could watch on any of these streams. People are talking about Venom, Spider-Man, No Way Home, Doctor Strange, Loki. They're jumping from one lily pad to another because it's anticipation. And we're building movies that aren't even done production yet. But here we are. We're just fresh off a Suicide Squad movie. And what's next?
Right.
Do you think that The Flash is going to unite fans of DC?
No.
No?
No.
Even if the rumors are true that Henry Cavill is in it?
It depends on what they do with it. The Flash itself will not unite anybody until you know what's going to happen. So because look at it this way, you could erase a lot of the stuff. They could use this movie to erase a lot of the things that people like and that have built up over the last 7, 8, 9 years, or they could split it up. What my recommendation, if they would do this right, is they would use the Flash to fragment this universe and brand each of their universes distinctly. Have one distinctly on HBO Max, have the other one on WB after they've reformed and rebuilt WB, and then have a Prime one that is on the big screen, and have those anchored in each of those universes has a different type of demographic, different type of people that they're catering to. And if they were smart, they would use this Flashpoint movie to do that. That way, HBO Max, if you want to go R-rated, balls to the walls, because that's another thing. An R-rated superhero movie cuts your audience in half. But you can do that stuff on HBO Max.
Does it really nowadays?
Yeah, because if you're playing by the rules, you're supposed to go with a parent or a guardian. All right. Now, if your parent or guardian takes you, but a PG-13 movie, you don't have to have your parents involved at all.
Right.
Or a guardian.
But then you do have the anomaly, I guess, because it's an anomaly in like Joker, right? Joker makes $1 billion, and things like that. So I'm curious.
Joker's controversy made it $1 billion too. I remember when we were screening Joker, man, the security we had to do this at AMC Town Square. There were dogs everywhere. All the people we took with us, they had Metro out there. We had to have everybody's email and everybody's address. Everybody had to have their ID on them, and they checked them. We didn't have to do that prior because there was so much intensified violence. That helped sell that movie too, and plus it had a star cast. But that is an anomaly. But you can't build your universe on that.
Right.
You said you had dogs there.
No, there were dogs. There were dogs out there. They were out on the out. They weren't like everywhere, but they were out on the edges. When you walked up AMC, they had them there because there had been threats of violence
for guns and stuff.
For guns and anything, because remember what happened? The guy dressed up as a Joker back in Colorado. That's why that went down.
Wow.
So that was a lot of the buzz about that, and security was high just for the press screening. But if they took
the media did not help that case at all.
Do you think Joker 2 would make $1 billion?
What's that?
Do you think that a Joker 2 with that same cast and same crew and everything would make $1 billion again?
No.
Possibly. If it's Joaquin Phoenix, if it depends on what the story is too. There's a lot of people decades ago that said don't make a Godfather 2, and they made it, and it's the only movie where its sequel won best movie. So and it's largely because the same people that made Godfather 1 made Godfather 2. Right down to most of the actors, with the exception of Marlon Brando, obviously, and certain other characters. So it's possible, but what they should do is they should take the HBO Max thing and all the stuff that they don't want to present to a family type. Even Zack Snyder stuff. Zack Snyder, put that on one universe. Put the young adult stuff and upper 20 stuff on the CW, kind of like they have it now. Get rid of most of the CW and start with new heroes, but keep it along that same way. And then your movie stuff, I would have, and this is the only use that I have for 2017 Justice League, is let that be where your big screen sprouts from. because your other universe would be in HBO Max. I don't need to restore the Snyderverse on a big screen where all those pressures and all those limitations are, when I can put it on HBO Max, the same network that has Game of Thrones and dragons singeing people to death. I would rather have Zack Snyder's stuff and Gunn stuff on a platform where they can do whatever the hell they want to, not have to worry about anything, not have to worry about box office, anything like that, just subscriptions. And you let these universes run parallel to each other, and then you brand them. So you brand them and you give them symbols, just like Hogwarts in Game of Thrones. House Targaryen, House Stark. Everybody chooses a house. Everybody chooses a universe, and each universe has a distinct feel to it and a distinct look, and you just choose your universe. If they were smart, that's how. And while that's splitting them up, right, it's actually bringing them together, because you're all watching Game of Thrones no matter what house you're on. Right? You're in basically the same multiverse. And even if I'm not into the CW stuff, after I'm done watching my stuff on HBO Max, I'm going to peek over there, and it's going to go vice versa. And by proxy, you've actually brought your universe together. I mean, that's what they should do. I don't know if, that's what they will do.
William, you are exactly right, because I want to go back to the point you said about like Joker and Aquaman. People need to realize that that time, comic book movies were like at their peak. Like you could get these average super like Venom. Venom is not that good, but it made up like almost $1 billion, Yeah. Because that was like the height of comic book movies. Everybody wanted to go see them. Like, let's be real. Did Captain Marvel make $1 billion because it was that good of a movie, or did it make $1 billion because it was an MC movie between
about
Infinity
a
War and
woman
Endgame?
lead character?
Well, and it was the last movie before Endgame.
Yeah, and it barely tied into it.
Right, but they built it as in
they lied to
you
you.
To see, they lied, and they made it like you need to see this to get Infinity War.
They were like, that's why they had her in the Endgame trailer in the movie's release. They spoiled her in the trailer when the release came up because they wanted to get that hype.
Yeah, remember that the trailer ends with Thor, what's his new thing?
Stormbreaker.
Stormbreaker flies past her, and he's like,
I like this one.
Yeah.
and that never ended up being in the film.
Yeah.
I just think. All right, I have a question for you guys. Do you think that the superhero genre is on the decline?
No.
It could be.
No. I think it needs to change, but it's not.
Yeah, I think certain things need to happen.
You're not going to see another MCU again like that last 7 or 8, 9 years. That was sensationalism because it was peak curiosity, and when it was the first time that you had an escalating adventure like that. You didn't even have that in Star Wars because you only had the 3 movies at the time, and then 3 movies in 10 years, 3 movies, 10 years. This had a consistent build-up, and that's really hard to do. And one of the reasons why it's hard to do is because half of these movies weren't that good. Half of these movies made a lot of money because they were attached to the good movies. And people are going to be a little bit more like, okay, maybe I'm not going to go see the Rocket Raccoon movie this time around because it wasn't as good as the Iron Man movie. Maybe I'll see that on Disney Plus. So your numbers are going to decline there, but the interest is still going to be there. It might not be there like Endgame was, but like I said, not all of Marvel's movies made $1 billion. It was 7 years or so before they got to that point.
Yeah,
but it was years before they consistently got to $1 billion.
But they were very successful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a one-time thing. Not one time is right. That era was one time. Simple because of the buildup. You would have to do something on that level again. And when you try something like that again, most people are desensitized. It's like when you see a horror movie for the very first time and a specific type of serial killer. Like when I first saw Jason for the very first time, splitting heads and putting harpoons in eyeballs. Wow, this is what the hell. All right, so Friday the 13th Part 2 comes around. It's more of the same. It's not as sensational to me anymore. The second time around is just not going to be that big. And you're going to see that with these movies. You're not going to see as many billion-dollar franchise. You'll have your Spider-Mans, and that's what else can you think? I don't know if Eternals is going to pique that kind of interest.
I think, but I do think
Spider-Man has. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, well, yeah, I do think that there is going to be a bit of a. I do think there's a bit of a decline. I think that's why things like the multiverse, right? DC and MCU are going into the multiverse. There's going to be they have to change things up, obviously. And I think James Gunn made a good point a couple weeks ago when he said like they're starting to get boring, and I think there's a concern too, even with the multiverse, and that right, a lot of these movies are going to lose stakes because a character can die, we can bring him back in other ways and do all that, and it's for me, I think it's different. It's different watching and doing it on the movies, in the movies and on the big screen than it is reading the comic, knowing that okay, on the comic these characters are, they're going to be around forever and all that, but like when you're watching a movie, there needs to be some stake, something to it that it's like I don't know that like all these talks of everybody wants to bring Iron Man back to the MCU. I think that's the worst decision they could ever. Don't bring back Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr. or these guys that they've I think that's why I just think they're gonna comic book movies are gonna need to change. They're gonna need to adapt and to. I think they'll be around, like Adam said, for a long time. They're just gonna change.
Yeah.
They also
be
need to be
different, but
more
they won't
different.
decline.
Yeah, they won't. Austin, you're exactly right. The thing about MCU is people could say, well, this is different, this is different. They all carry a similar tone, though. And that needs to, like, with shows like Moon Knight or, like, Blade, they need to change stuff. They need to, like, you want, okay, this is what I like to say. You want Kevin Feige to be like, well, if you're a fan of this, like, kind of like how William said with, like, different streaming and going to different places. If you're a fan of this, you can go over here and see that. If you like darker tone movies of comic books, you go to Moon Knight or Blade. If you like lighter stuff or you want to appeal to your feminine side or whatever, you could go to Miss Marvel or the Marvels or that stuff. The thing is like getting toys for your toy box.
Right. Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah,
I don't think Jordan declined now.
I mean, here's the thing. Black Widow, like for instance, Black Widow, right? Let's look at Black Widow. Black Widow was a movie that was hyped up, and it was delayed, and it went theatrical plus Disney Plus premiere. Do you guys think that that Warner and DC should have charged a premiere price for these films that are dual releasing?
Which ones?
Any of them?
Yeah,
every single one of them.
No, because some of them.
Why do you think that would have been smarter?
Because they wouldn't have made money. Nobody's paying $30 for Suicide Squad. Sorry.
But people will pay $30 for Black Widow?
Because they bought into a pre-existing a narrative, and a lot of them were, not as many people did it as would have done it before. They bought into a residue of an era that movie is not really even a part of. One of the reasons why that movie didn't do as well, and it's not just because of day-and-day release in Disney Plus, it wasn't attached to anything. It wasn't a must-see movie. It wasn't in between anything that you really had to anticipate. It was out on its own. It was out of time. And once people realize that's why that movie didn't do well. But Marvel thinks that they can charge $30 for just about anything. Like I said, they made $1 billion off of a movie that had no business making $1 billion. So they got that kind of confidence now that they might charge a little bit more for things that maybe you shouldn't. Right. But
I mean, they put a price tag on Milan,
and that did crap.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying they put a price tag on these movies because, I mean, if you're single, right, and if it's us, right, if it's me, you, whatever, it was actually cheaper to go to the theater. But if you had a family, this was a pretty good deal. $30. You get to sit home. You get to watch the movie. You don't think logistically that it would have been better for them to charge that that 30.
No, because these aren't family movies. I mean,
well, what about? I'm not talking about just the Suicide Squad. I'm talking about Godzilla vs Kong. I'm talking about Wonder Woman 84.
No, but see, it goes movie by movie.
Did really good though.
What's that? Godzilla vs Kong
actually did really good.
They and see Warner Brothers. I know that for a fact that Warner Brothers didn't feel the need. To go charge premium for those. What Warner Brothers is going for with HBO Max is volume. It's different when it's Disney, and people forget that. By the way, movies are not Disney's number one draw. It's theme parks. That's where they get their money from. It's not movies. These movies make $1 billion, but if you look at what their theme parks and stuff pull in, that is where they're hurting right now because of COVID. Movies is not really, so they would have to make up. They're making up in other places. But if you're Warner Brothers, you're going for volume right now because you're trying to build a subscription, whereas Disney Plus is already there. It's already pretty much at its subscription and going up from there. Right. So they're going to use that to capitalize on money that they're losing right now.
Speaking of Marvel, I do want to play a little skit. I know I played it yesterday before the show, but Marvel has not been paying their creators. And this has been like really, really in the news. And I'd like to get your thoughts on it after the fact. Let's see if it's still in here. I think it's still in here. So this is a little skit I did.
Hey Marvel, how are you doing? I just came up with an amazing idea for a comic book character that you can use. Oh yeah? What's the character? He's a Mazo Man. He's kind of like Superman, but better. Say no more. We're gonna use him in our next movie, Avengers 5. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to tell my family. See, we've been struggling to get by in the economy. Yeah, about that. We only pay $5,000 and you might get invited to the premiere. Wait, what? Yeah, you still have to buy your own popcorn as well. Oh. Oh.
So what do you guys think of Marvel and this situation?
Well, the tie on the left should have negotiated better.
What?
The tie on the left, when you're presenting this character to Marvel, that is going to be right there. That is going to be your time to ever get a better deal, because once you submit that character to Marvel, it's theirs. So right. your only leverage would have been at the point where you say, "Hey, I got this character." And you were working out copyright.
Right. So after, I'm going to do a follow-up to that, and I'm going to take my creator or creation to an independent comic book studio, and do what everyone else has been doing. Do you guys feel that there is a responsibility by these comic book companies to pay their artists?
Yes, and I think, okay, I'll be real with you. This is a real thing, and I feel so strongly that these comic artists need to get paid like way more. But the thing that pisses me off is, let's say, so the person who made Invincible, I can't think of his name right now.
Kirkman.
Robert Kirkman.
Yeah, Kirkman. Right. Yeah. So he was working for Marvel, DC. He would work for all that, and he realized that he was getting screwed over. So he goes to Invincible, makes his own universe, and he has all that profit. He's able to go in the animation, the live action stuff he's gonna make. He has control over that, and he's telling all these artists that are coming up in like the comic book world. He's like hiring them or telling them not to go to Marvel DC because they'll screw you over. And he
took his stuff to Universal.
Yeah.
As far as the
these
films,
and especially now, these comics from Marvel and DC are not good. I think the last Marvel comic that I read that I thought was actually good was like Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars. And I was like,
wow, you need to read some more comic books, man.
I agree. I haven't read a good Marvel comic in a while, but DC's been fired lately. DC is good. I love the DC Future State stuff. I love the new Batman. John Ridley.
The Black Label stuff is the best stuff in comics.
Fortunately I got to read Batamn89 as well as Secret Files #1, and DC is killing it with content right now as far as comic books.
I've read like the Death Metal Multiverse, and it is really good. I like the Superboy Prime. I also like that aspect. I think DC is doing really well as it goes. Marvel, honestly, after like the Secret Empire stuff, Secret Empire and then the Civil War 2, it's very like I don't care about it. Maybe there is some good stuff. I just
I heard there was good stuff like with Venom, the King in Black, and that type of stuff. But I didn't.
Daredevil.
I haven't read. I have not been into Marvel in a long time.
Most of the X-Men books.
I would definitely.
I read them both, but there's. It's not like 1990s Marvel. I mean,
who's doing X-Men right now? William.
Yeah. To transition, and we will get back to this because this is like a big topic, but I want to get you guys' takes on something different. So stay tuned. All right, so there was a scrapped Power Rangers game, and I know we have some gamers in here. So what are you guys thinking of this game? I mean, it looks amazing.
I'm not a gamer guy, so I don't have an opinion. I'm sorry.
I would call myself a bit of a gamer. This reminds me of. Do you guys ever play the Transformers games, like the Cybertron S game?
Yep.
Yeah, Austin. This is what it kind of reminds me of, and if that is the case, that would be awesome because I actually really like those games, and those games mean a lot of money. The idea is just like
look at Alpha. I mean, this is amazing.
I've thought for a long time that a mature Power Rangers take would do really well, whether that's a video game, a series, a movie. I enjoyed the last Power Rangers movies they did. It was had some more adult, elements to it, but I wish they'd go like full on with it, So I think that'd be cool. Like a rated M Power Rangers game. I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, so basically what the story of this this game would have been was there's a villain and a multiverse of Power Rangers would have to come together to fight the villain. And I think it was an open world. And I think it would have just been fantastic. However, Saban did pass on the idea. And I'm very disappointed. I think he was a little salty because of his movie, even though the movie, in my opinion, was not that bad. I would have loved to see his movies get continued, but we are getting a new Power Rangers reboot apparently sometime in the future. So guys, send us a super chat. Would you have loved to see the Power Rangers game come to fruition? If so, why?
What was your favorite Power Ranger? Do you guys have a favorite?
Tommy, of course.
Dude, same.
Green or white?
I was Tommy for 13 years as Halloween. I wasn't just the Green Ranger. I was the White Ranger.
White. Yeah, me too. I was white for like 3 years, bro. That's literally was the coolest thing to me.
I was the White Ranger for 7 years, and then the Green Ranger, and then I just dressed up as Tommy. So if you remember in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, he kind of has like a half suit on. I also did that. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers will go down as still one of my favorite things of all time.
You got a lot of mileage out of that, boy.
I would love to do a watch party and just kind of critique the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I know they did like a Turbo with the same characters, and that was trash. But Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is the way to go. All right, so moving on. Moving on.
And here we go.
So Stargirl, I know some of you haven't watched it, but Stargirl, the intro to Stargirl was very dark. And I know a lot of people don't like Jeff Johns, but the story was kind of cool. I mean, I felt like it was rushed a little bit. Some of the scenes were rushed through, and you definitely get that like teenage girl, like she's like whimpering all the time, and all she wants to do is be Stargirl and yada yada yada. But the series, have you guys watched it? And I know
I watched a little bit of it.
I advise you to watch the first season. In the second season, we do get the introduction to Jeff Johns' favorite, Green Lantern, the daughter. And they have an epic fight. And then, what's her name? Caden. What's her name? The bad, the Injustice girl.
Oh, Lady Shiv.
What is it?
Cindy Berman. And Lady
Cindy Berman. Yeah, Cindy Berman. She comes back, and then she throws down a picture of Stargirl's brother. Now, I thought this was really, really interesting.
Because in the comics, you know Yolanda, Catgirl, or not Catgirl, Wildcat.
Yeah.
So in the comics, her brother is possessed by Eclipso, this guy right here.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're changing it to it being her brother, like Stargirl's brother.
Which would be a fantastic storyline.
Wait, that was Eclipso?
Yeah. Sorry, I kind of I some of these aren't labeled. So these are the pictures that she lays down.
And she also, because she has a folder called Injustice Unlimited, which Injustice Unlimited is like a group in the comics.
Yes.
As well.
So she gets the son, who doesn't remember who he is, and doesn't remember that his dad was a member of the ISA. She gets the girl in the red who wields a hockey stick.
Because her mother and father are sportsmaster and Tiger.
Exactly.
And they're in prison.
And then who's this kid in the long hair?
That's Mastero. He is we presume to be his mother is the one in the violin. But it's presumed that he was de-aged, and it's not really her son, it's her husband, but he got de-aged by one of the JSA members.
Okay, so Cindy Berman is definitely going to be leading the team.
Yeah.
And she, oh God, why are these so like out of order?
Time.
And what is this?
Thunderbolt. He's from the Pink Pen. The pink pen that keeps on zapping in the first season.
Oh, okay.
And he's voiced by Jim Gaffigan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And is he a good guy or a bad guy?
Good guy.
He's a good guy.
He's
So
a genie.
So basically, the new lineup for the JSA seems to be Green Lantern's daughter. What's her name?
Jade. She's
is
Alan
it?
Scott's. Alan Scott's daughter is Jade.
So Jade Scott. Jade Scott, Stargirl, Hourglass
Wildcat.
Man, Wildcat, the girl that
Dr. Midnight.
has the no
Chuck glasses.
no contribute. She does not contribute to the team at all, and she should not be a part of the team. Chuck, but her storyline kind of intervenes, or not intervenes, but interlaps with the opening scene, with the whatever.
With Bruce.
Yes,
aka Eclipso.
With this. So, guys, if you haven't watched Stargirl season 1, I would get on it. Just know that you're going into a teenage drama, but the second season opens very, very dark, and it seems like this season is taking a very dark.
Yeah, because
turn.
you have Shade and Eclipso, like two of like the darkest Stargirl villains.
Dude, Shade's actually really cool.
Yeah. And the way who now must not be named, Jeff Johns, explained it is that that the two horror characters that helped him like make these characters is Pennywise and Freddy Krueger.
Ooh.
So
it's sad that we view Jeff Johns through the lens of all the dumb stuff and forget the fact that he's actually a pretty good storyteller.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Blackest Night. Yeah, he does really. He's really good.
As long as he's not in control of everything.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where he strays.
Yeah,
that's where you get stuff like Flashpoint and watch Doomsday Clock and stuff like that, where he tries to reset the universe to his own liking. That's his only problem. Is if you give him the keys to the entire universe and allow him to reboot it, you basically you're 5 steps back, and that's the one thing that's real.
Kids. Or if you give him kid characters like Shazam, where he turns Shazam into Batman Jr.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think that we will see? So also we get the addition of Starman coming into the fold. So he's kind of looking around, and Blue Valley's kind of a small town, so I don't know why he hasn't found them yet. But Starman is lingering, and I think that is why the staff is lighting up.
A lot more.
I think that's why
because it was always lighting up when there's threats, but it also lights up when Starman's around and when Stargirl's around. So
yes,
like it was lighting up a lot the first episode, like a lot.
Yeah, so I do think that, but Stargirl, I'd give it a chance, guys. You got to know what you're getting into. You got to know what kind of story you're being told, and that's definitely a teenage drama. But we do get some cool characters, some cool fight. The special effects in the show are really good. They're like really good, and
really.
They're actually really good.
You know what's funny? I've looked at like Superman and Lois. To me, has good stuff too, and then this has really good stuff. Which is funny because like shows like The Flash and like other like Flash, Supergirl, it's terrible. They have terrible.
Oh yeah. They're so corny. But
the effects. The effects are not good.
No, I know. The effects are corny as hell.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But these shows, like the effects are really, really good. But onto something that we can all talk about. I know that it's something that we all have kind of an opinion on, if you will. But on to the next thing. All right, guys. So I want to talk about the Batman. I want to talk about Matt Reeves, the Batman, and I know you all have some takes on this. So the Batman. Are you guys excited for the Batman?
Hell yeah.
Somewhat from the first trailer. That's about it.
Okay, so what do you mean? Elaborate.
I once again, the biggest thing that this Batman is going to have against it is I never got done with the Batman you presented to me. Why should I trust you with this new Batman when you never finished the one you led me on for 5-6 years? You're basically, it's like a chef that basically gives you a good half a meal, and the second half's about to come out, and I never get it. I get a different chef with something else while I'm still sitting in the same restaurant. I don't trust them to follow through. I don't, okay, say if I like this, I invested more time in it, and they decided, well, it's too dark. We're going to need to take a different direction. And then Matt Reeves is gone, and now we have, a fluffy Batman for the Batman 2. It's just hard to really have any momentum going into this movie because there's no momentum to go into this movie with.
Well,
Right,
I would counterpoint that because Matt Reeves was going to come in and direct Ben Affleck's Batman, and then Ben Affleck left. So it's not Warner Brothers' fault. It's not Ben Affleck's fault. It's just circumstances.
No, it's Warner Brothers' fault. It's Warner Brothers' fault because Affleck was supposed to produce and direct that movie, and it's because of the garbage that he went through with Warner Brothers on Justice League is what pushed him out and other issues.
Left.
But it was predominantly the management at the time, and so it's their fault that we didn't get a Ben Affleck Batman movie.
It wasn't Matt Reeves' fault, but it was WB's fault.
No, WB, Warner Brothers. I don't blame Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves wanted to come in and do his own movie, which I completely understand. But there would have been a time and a place for it for me where I would have jumped head over heels into this, and that will be after you concluded the Batman I was on. Finish what you started, and I'll trust you to do something else.
Yeah. Okay. I completely understand that. Thank you, Nick, for the $5 super chat. Battinson rules. Guys, I do think we have to be careful. We have to be careful when we get excited for a movie that hasn't come out yet. But I do think that Battinson, he's showing a different side of Batman, which will be cool. Like the detective noir side of it, like when he pulls off the cowl, the makeup's still there, and the story is definitely going to be detective driven, which we have not seen on screen yet before. So I'm excited for that. However, I do need this to take place on a different Earth.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I don't honestly. Again, what I want. Oh, go ahead, Caden.
Hamada said himself in an interview that and Matt Reeves said it himself also in an interview that this is a different Earth. This is possibly Earth 2, and that this is a new Batman. This is going to be, and where Matt Reeves, when he talks about this Batman, he says, you're going to, what Ty said, it's going to go into more detective side. He's going to be year 2. This is year 2 Batman. So he's, he's now from myth and legend turned to reality. He's, then there's, a new bad guy coming in, or new guy coming in saying that there's corruption everywhere. And there's corruption. And there's even corruption with the Waynes, and it's also the actions that Riddler chooses to do would be interesting what he does, and to see how this will set up the whole Catwoman story Penguin's story, Riddler's future, a possible, what other rogues galleries would we see in the Matt Reeves universe of Batman characters?
Do you guys think that that Hush is gonna be in this movie?
No.
I think it's all Riddler for the most part.
Riddler,
it's all Riddler.
You think it's all Riddler?
Yeah, it's all Riddler.
Yeah,
and it would, yeah, it's all Riddler. He's trying to show, hey, like, these politicians and these cops and these guys aren't right, and they're corrupt, and I think if and like Jim Gordon, he's finding out about these things. He's coming into becoming commissioner. He's not commissioner yet. He's coming into becoming commissioner, so it's like it's a balance of all characters, and like that Batman already has his origin, while these villains are having their origin, while Batman has already had his place and starting out, and this is year 2, while some of these villains are year 1 villains. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dan, I think you're right. I think you have a lot of good points. To me, like, I'm excited, but I just want to see what they do. Like, I've heard rumors about like the Court of Owls, and that might be like what all these politicians.
Oh my god, I would love to see Court of Owls on
dude,
screen.
Same. Court of Owls would be so cool. I would also love to see like Talon as like a Batman rival. Would be really cool. I've always wanted to see a Talon or multiple Talons. I just think they're so cool. Seeing them in live action as like a rival to Batman's skill, I guess you could say. Yeah. Would be awesome.
It's kind of two different questions, though. It's okay whether we're excited for it or whether we think it's going to be a good movie. I think it's going to be a good movie, but being excited for it, it's like, well, Suicide Squad to me was a good movie, but it was hard to get excited for the way they package things, and I think they're going the same route with Batman. It could be, like I said, making a good movie is not enough. I know people say, well, just make a good movie. That's bullshit. All right, there are so many good movies and so many directors and producers that are out of work right now, and they made great movies, but they weren't packaged right, they weren't promoted right, they weren't connected right, they bombed, and now they're doing Ubers. So it's going to take, whether this is a good movie or not, it may not be relevant. So you don't agree with the fact that a film needs to, at the end of the day, have a good story and be a good film fundamentally before connecting to larger universes? That's part of it. That's part of it. But if you haven't done the other parts, trash connected to gourmet is still trash. All right? If I make a great gourmet and I bring it to you in a dirty paper plate, it's trash. You see what I mean? You could do your best work here. I get what but if you don't do your best work here, it eventually will fall apart. There's been in the last 10 years great movies that have great stories, but they've been wrapped up in mess. And then when it's time to present them to the public, we end up with a Suicide Squad, or we end up with one of my favorite movies. Here's a good class in mismarketing, Blade Runner 2049, which is a great movie. All right, why did it bomb? Because it wasn't promoted right. It was a 35-year-old IP that was connected to nothing. So great movies, great. I think one of Ben Affleck's movie. Ben Affleck did a movie with an accountant. I think it was Accountant. Yeah, was not promoted correctly. Nobody saw that movie. So making good movies isn't enough.
But it was a good film fundamentally.
Okay, great. But in the business of movie making, though, these movies don't continue if they bomb.
But the thing is, this is also Batman, though. Batman is one of the most popular. Like Joker made that much. It's Joker, he's one of the most popular characters. Batman is one of the most popular. I'm not saying that they don't have to do promotion, because they obviously do, and they do it right. But Batman is one of those characters like Spider-Man, like like I guess the X-Men. I don't know. Like no, like Wolverine. Like they could have a movie and people will flock because they love that character.
I thought about that with Superman Returns too. I mean,
real quick, guys. H Barts, love you, man. With a $2 super chat. Hey Ty, how are you doing? I'm doing magnificent. I'm surrounded by friends, and we're having a healthy discussion about films that are taking place or have taken place. And you know, with William, I do want to talk about the Flash because, I mean, your shirt has the Flash.
That's Shazam.
That's Shazam.
That's Shazam. Company logo. There you go. Yeah.
Oh, it is Shazam. Jesus Christ.
But go ahead about the Flash.
Why can't I see straight today? Oh, it is Shazam. Yeah. With the Flash, do you think it's going to restructure the entire DC universe?
If they're smart, yes. That's what should happen. Now, whether what regime is in power will decide whether it's done right. If it's the Zaslav Warner Discovery regime, I have a lot of hope for what they can do because I think they see things in a different way than the old school Hollywood execs that they're replacing do. If it's a Hamada, Emmerich, Warner, then it's going to be done wrong because they have a track record of doing this wrong. Nothing personal against these guys. I don't know them from Adam, but they have a track record, a proven track record of doing this wrong and turning successes. That's why I worry about the Batman. Batman could be the Godfather level, but if you package diamonds in the shit, what are you going to see first before the diamond? Shit. So it all depends on how it's approached and if there's a game plan in place. If there's a game plan in place, they could make a lot of money on so many levels. It's right there for them. Like I said, you take the CW network, there's an audience for that. You know people love that. It's not my cup of tea, but there's an audience for that. You cater to them. You create these 3 different distinct brands, and then you let your directors go at it. You put your guys like James Gunn and Snyder or anybody else who wants to do this violence and TNA and everything like that. You put them on HBO Max, and then you put the PG-13 stuff on. You all right, man? I can't do the Heimlich from Vegas. Okay.
Oh, I just coughed up my coffee.
But yeah, it's it has a potential to be a success and done right and make everybody happy. But like I said, I just don't have faith in the current regime to do it. So I hope it's not them that does it.
I just think the Flash, so we got recent comments about Michael Keaton being happy to step back in the suit. How do you guys? I mean, what are you guys thinking about that? Did you want Keaton to be back in the suit, or did you want him to play more of a Bruce Wayne character?
I think he'll do both. We see him do both. We see him do
but we also get Ben Affleck in that story, and I feel like
I think, and also when he was doing that interview with Collider, he mentioned a possible scene with Keaton and Affleck together that he has to film still, and that he's done, and then the Twitter guy, he said that Affleck and possibly is Superman. And then he hinted at Cavill doing a scene together, which will be cool to see Keaton and Cavill do a scene together. And I think this movie, is that, it's low. It starts off with somewhat of the same Flashpoint aspects, but does it end like does it have a middle and end as Flashpoint? No. It starts off, Barry Allen going back in time, saving his mother, and ending up in a different Earth. Okay.
The real question is, do we get the Reverse Flash?
I think we'll see a little cameo, throughout the film, see him be in the behind in the background. and
but Reverse Flash is very detrimental to the story.
If they use that story.
Well, they're loosely adapting it, right?
He's very detrimental to Barry's whole life.
Very. You're 100% right. He is detrimental to Barry's story.
Like, I can see where he, like I said in the previous stream, where I said that, we can see him like as a little blur in the beginning, like with the whole him saving Nora, we can see him as a blur. And then we can see him like there was an actor that was on set and that was seen throughout in a couple scenes. Like he was in the court scene, he was seen in the chase scene, like a stunt actor that's been in previous films. So people were like speculating maybe he's playing Eobard Thawne in a way, where he's in the background, like scheming to kill the villain of this film and then come in the Flash sequel to be the villain of the Flash sequel.
Okay, but are we going to be okay with Eobard Thawne being a character who is a second movie villain?
Yeah, I think because we get the main villain of the heroes in the first movie.
Who's the main villain of the first movie?
I think it's going to be Barry Allen himself, to be honest with you, because if you look at what he's doing, he's really the villain in this whole thing. His own selfishness is what causes this to begin with. His inability to let things be is what causes this. So I could see further down the line, Barry Allen trying to stop the current Barry Allen from fixing things.
But Barry goes back in time to save his mother, right? So even if we're loosely adapting that storyline, Barry goes back to save his mother. Unless they tweak something, the Reverse Flash is the one who kills Barry's mother in order to create the Flash in a future timeline. So
there's nothing saying they have to use that, though. There's nothing saying they have to use that. They can use that
because in the Flashpoint comic, it's some burglar with that when he smashed the window, he took a piece of glass and slit Nora's throat. That's basically, and stabbed her. That's like the Flashpoint paradox. Jeff Johns' Flashpoint paradox. That's his story, and then Reverse Flash manipulated Barry to say, I was the person that did that, even though we know it wasn't him. We know it's just a random burglar that he's taken advantage of manipulating Barry to think it was him.
So you guys think Barry's going to be the villain of his own story? Well, again, all heroes are the villain of their own story in the end, So I think that'll be like the lesson that you are your own villain.
Are we talking like Barry, like our Barry, or like a different Barry, like a future Barry? Like,
I think it's going to be a future Barry because there's going to be some Barry along that timeline is not going to want what has happened to be undone, and if he sees our Barry undoing something that is not advantageous to him, he's probably going to stop him to preserve his own reality or his own timeline. That's what I think could happen. You could insert the rest of them in there, but you don't have to.
Okay. You know what? So how do we get? All right. So basically, how do we get from that to meeting Michael Keaton, and how do we get to?
You know what? That's what I'm saying. Why is is Supergirl just a cameo? Like, is she fighting anybody? Is Michael Keaton are these cameos?
We know that
fighting someone.
Okay, so basically, we've seen, the leaked concept art video behind the scenes DC fandom leak that was supposed to be shown at DC fandom, but it was leaked early, a while.
Which I did not see.
Oh, yeah. So basically, in the concept arts, you see basically Keaton's Batman and Barry's Flash in this gray room. And then you see Supergirl sitting down. So that kind of says, Supergirl's story is basically like the Flashpoint's Kal-El, where he is taken into this military slash Cadmus, where he doesn't see the sun until until Barry and Cyborg release him.
So Supergirl is going to be like Superboy in Titans, where he kind of.
But it's like, so basically, you know, Kara Zor-El like lands on Earth, and then Cadmus takes her in before she can find out that she can have powers.
Which would align with why Superman has not met her.
Yeah, because
okay.
And it's alternate universe.
Moral of the story: do you think Henry Cavill's Superman is tied to this superhero?
Yeah,
it's hard to say, man. It's hard to say.
I believe he will be.
I'm leaning 60% yes, but it's it's not a strong yes for me. I hope so.
I think it could be, but they also could just not
give him a headshot where it's just his chest down again.
Oh my god! How funny! He's like, Supergirl's all like, "I finally get to meet you," and it just doesn't show the head again, just like in Shazam. It's just so funny.
That was such a mess.
I have a bet with Austin, and I want to get you guys' input on this. My bet with Austin is that The Flash will have a better audience score, not box office, not anything else. I think The Flash will have a better audience score than No Way Home.
Yeah, I think all the DC movies coming out will, but unfortunately that's not where the ticker tape parade happens. It's going to be box office. That they could possibly, man, these movies could be blockbusters. If, like, right now, when I left out of a Suicide Squad, something should have been fed to me somehow, some way, that led me towards these next movies. Okay. I should have walked out talking about as much about Suicide Squad as I am about the next step, like Flash or something. Something should be happening in between now and then.
But why?
Because that's just the way you do business. That's the way you do business, right? And when you're talking about these movies, comic book movies mostly are, for this day and age, are in anticipation of. I mean, it is, you're out on an island trying to gain the same type of success as something that's interconnected, and that's rare. For every Joker and Aquaman, you have a Suicide Squad or a Shazam.
But the Suicide Squad, I don't think was a movie that needed to connect to anything, or needed to set anything up. It set up Peacemaker, but I think how to play devil's advocate, how would you have set up Suicide Squad to set up future DC projects?
By not making it. As I said before, this was listen, this is not to destroy Suicide Squad.
I love it. No, William, I love you, man. I really do.
But this movie, where it sits, does nothing for their overall brand. It does nothing for their overall brand right now. All right. Harley Quinn, I mean, now you have two movies where Harley Quinn hasn't drawn as far as box office goes, regardless of how you feel about these movies. You have this movie that's out on an island, and you have these other movies coming. So you needed to make there should have been another movie here that would propel you into Flash and, not necessarily the Batman, because if you're going to call that a different world, that's fine. But even with the Batman, there's no establishing beachhead for any of these movies. They can get 100% audience scores, get an A+. Yeah. But Suicide Squad got a decent audience score, and it's a bomb. So by not making it, I think that they've done themselves a disservice the past couple of years by not connecting their train and then hoping that they're going to get to a fruitful destination. And it's just not going to happen that way.
Do you think that Starro was a villain that warranted more heroes?
Not necessarily.
Like when Starro comes out, my problem with all superhero films like solo films in general, is when a character like a huge threat like that comes out and no one is to be found. Like Starro comes out and no other hero is there.
Well, if you think about it, because if you think about it, Starro is meant to be kept a secret,
but he was all over the news.
Yeah, but then he was done right after.
He was done right after, and
you're telling
and
me
also
that
they have to figure out
Superman
where
couldn't fly that quick over there.
Well, here's the thing.
Then if Superman or Batman or Superman goes over there, he sees that the Task Force X is there as well. He's like, oh, Amanda Waller sent them. Now I gotta go ask her, why did you send these guys here? And that contact being the Justice League. And then it goes into the whole thing where Amanda Waller has a stake in it because she's part of the government, and the government's trying to hide that they were part of this Project Starfish.
Okay.
How many times has Galactus come to Earth and only the Fantastic Four has faced him?
No,
Why
you're
not
right.
everybody?
And you're right.
So the narrative is there that they're doing something else. You just have to take for granted that they're doing something else.
Galactus.
Huh?
No one on Earth could hurt Galactus. No one on Earth could hurt Galactus.
Yeah, but they all, but he's a global threat. He represents a threat that if you're a defender of the Earth, if you're a defender of the Earth, you would be like, I got to go help fight this guy. But yet, it's whoever he's fighting is who he's fighting.
The only way Galactus loses is because Reed is the smartest character in the Marvel universe, and he will either outsmart him or find a way to make him leave. Or Galactus or Silver Surfer, I guess.
Well, even still, like I said, but they're still going to show up and try to fight him, regardless of whether they would get stomped. But there's, that's how. But you never see that though. It's each comic book narrative is fighting their own thing, and that villain is theirs. That villain is there to propel those heroes. So that's why you wouldn't see Superman and the Justice League there, because that Starro was there to be the focus of those particular heroes or anti-heroes. So, but I thought the Starro thing was handled pretty well. I thought it was handled great. I liked his line at the end where he says, "I was happy floating, staring at the stars," and it sort of told you that I wasn't this monster until these fools snatched me out of space.
Yeah, until humanity stepped in.
Yeah, and then he just dies, and I'm like, that was probably one of the coolest parts in the movie. But once again, like I said, I wouldn't have made that movie. I wouldn't have made that movie now. I would have made that movie after you'd have made an establishing movie, and it would have had the same place in this universe as like a Guardians of the Galaxy. Nothing my universe needs to hinge on, but it's there anyway.
What my thing, and always my thing is, I think you need to establish the main characters: Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman. I think you need to establish those characters before you start branching off and doing other movies. So I do agree with you there. I think we need to know who our Justice League is before we start doing projects like this.
Or finish your current thing. Like I said, they do themselves such a disservice with these movies, and by not finishing and resolving things. I mean, we would be well on our way to some other universe right now if the Snyder stuff had just been resolved. I don't need it to go 25 movies. Just resolve it so that I see that you can start something, produce something, and finish something. And now I'm on to your next thing instead of being like looking out of my side eye like, wow, when is this director going to get fired because some spiff doesn't like the tone of this movie? So the part of the way I would have used Suicide Squad to propel the other narrative was to not make it and to make a movie that would have done that. But like I said, we are where we're at.
Right. All right, guys.
I have to get going.
Yeah, no, we're actually wrapping it up right now.
Okay, cool.
I do have to go on a couple of streams tonight. This was supposed to start earlier. However, it got pushed back. William, I would like to talk to you probably tomorrow, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. It's free comic book day, so I'll be here from 10 to 10. Ugh.
10 to 10.
Yeah, because I got the Candyman giveaway too. So.
And then, Gavin, I would also like to talk to you So guys, where can we find you? Again, this was like a little bit of a weird stream. Not too much going on, but Gavin, where can we find you?
You can find me at Gavin Cooley on Twitter, and you'll see. I'm usually here on Ty streams because I love Ty. He's a good friend of mine.
Aww.
He's first of all, his dog Logan is like the cutest dog in the world, and
become a member and you can get tons of pictures.
Oh,
are they like emojis?
I constantly do videos of Logan behind the scenes stuff. I actually have, so believe it or not, I have the podcast room, and then the next room over where I used to do the podcast is actually a green screen studio. So I set him up on the green screen studio, and we take pictures, and we do all kinds of stuff like that. So if you guys become members, you can get all that access, plus behind the scenes stuff, and early access to podcasts, discounted merch, and all that.
Yes, Ty. Use your
and it's as low as $2.99. Basically, the difference between us and other channels is you can pay $2.99, you can pay $4.99, you can pay $9.99. It's kind of pay what you think that the show is worth to you, and you get everything. So there are tiers, but you get everything for no matter what. So we'd love for everyone to join and become part of the family.
Cool. I think I joined already.
All right, William, which I will be coming out to Vegas in the next month or so, and me and William are going to do a show together live from his studio. William, where can we find you?
Vegas. Or you could just Google the Sci-Fi Center, and everything you need to know about me is right there.
Oh, my God. What about Twitter?
Twitter at thescificenter.com.
All right. Guys, it was a little impromptu. Gavin left already. Well, okay. Well, whatever. So it was a little bit of an impromptu stream, Friday night stream. I'll be going over to either Jarbo or the Vodka stream. If you want to see me over there, please come show your support for the Pop Culture Corner. We do it for you. We do it for the culture. I love you. And, you know, this is a place for all nerds. This is a place for, you know, non-toxicity. This is a place for people to get along, to people to talk about the things that they love without bias. No bias here. You know, bring whatever topics you have. Email me at pop.culture2020@gmail.com. If you do want to get a topic featured and you want us to talk about it, send it to us via DM, that email or whatever, and we will get to it. By the way, we will be shooting a exclusive. This is an exclusive Green Lantern HBO Max show exclusive. I said that word 9 times. So it's an exclusive on the Green Lantern HBO Max show. That'll be coming at you very, very soon. Feel free to check it out. Lots of cool news coming. And basically beside that, I'll see you next time.